Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel and the garden agains. Let's go. Right, leg session today, and I'm gonna go through how I train legs, starting off with low bar back squats. I'll do some high bar, run through that as well, and the other exercises I like to train in the garden to make them gains. Right, this is my last heavy warm up, no belts, no sleeves, 182 kilos on the bar. Come on! Let's go! Yes, not a bad start there. That's the heaviest I've done for a long time without a belt, without the knee sleeves. It moved okay. May have been able to go an inch deeper, but that's okay. I'm going to get a belt on, wraps on, sleeves on, sorry, and lift a bit heavier. But yeah, I'm just going to sort of run through the session, talk a bit. So yeah, back to, I'm doing the low bar squats just because I'm doing a strength phase at the moment, so I want to build just strength in the legs, build the squat up. Be nice to hit a 500-pound squat again at a very 104 kilo body weight, 103 would be lovely to hit that over the next few weeks. I feel like I'm on course to do that, and yeah, I'm hitting 3 or 4 working sets here in the strength plan. It was 4 sets of 4 and it dropped to like 3 sets of 3 with the heavier weights, and then today it might be one heavyish set for 2 or 3 reps, and then I'll back off a little bit for sets of 5s, and then I'll do some high bar squats and target more quads rather than lower back, hips, hamstrings, glutes, getting those involved. I'll be getting just more quads involved, a little bit more bodybuilding style. But yeah, I was doing safety bar, but since last year, and I've dropped a lot of body weight, I'm not so thick around my neck and traps and shoulders and everything, and the safety bar is rolling and falling forward on my neck, so causing some issues, not injuries or anything, just making the lift a lot harder and uncomfortable. So back to the low bar, and yeah, working on hip mobility and knees and ankle mobility a bit as well. A few certain exercises, stretches I'm doing at the moment to try and loosen up my hips and the knees and the ankles, just to try and get that depth better on this movement. But so far so good. Yeah, I'm gonna do a few heavier sets hopefully through this video, and then move on to next leg exercises and sort of explain why and I'm doing that. But yeah, strength phase at the moment, hence low bar squats, because that's the most powerful position you can get in. And you want, I can't reach my back or anything, but where the chalk is, you want the bar sat there sort of just below the traps on the rear delts, and it gets you in a bit of a lean position, and then yeah, you can squat and get your hips and your lower back and your glutes really firing and get them involved to lift more weight than a high bar squat or a safety bar. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it, just for strength and power reasons. So yeah, again, I'm not the most mobile, so I have to have my hands really wide. Some people can really have their hands narrow, but I'm just unfortunately not got great mobility. So I have to have my hands really wide for this one. But so far so good, very happy with that. I haven't done that for a long time without any supports on, so please. Right, on to the next heavy set. Let's go. Right, on to this first heavy working set. got 207 kilos on the bar here. I did 202 last week for free, got 207, so 5 kilo increase. Been trying to increase it each week. So yeah, try and hit a couple of reps here at least is the plan. And yeah, hopefully you'll see my sort of technique and what I use for the squats. Right, I'll get my head into this. Let's go. Yeah, I didn't quite feel comfortable on that. That was a bit rough today. Yeah, disappointed with that. I didn't feel comfortable. I felt like I set up slightly wrong there. Yeah, a bit disappointing. But as you can see, how I, tend to squat, and it's get that bar nice and sturdy on the, on the back there. I tend to take a big deep breath in, blast the core, get stable, take your steps out, and then another, and then push that core into the belt, let the core and your body settle for a second, and then boom, hit that squat. Yeah, a little bit disappointed with how that felt. The actual squat was okay, but just everything else felt really uncomfortable, so I might give that another shot in a minute. Yeah, I feel like I can get some more reps, another couple of reps there, so yeah, I think I'm going to have a little rest and go again. Try and get it to feel a little bit better. Let's go. Right, going to attempt 207 kilos again. I'm going to try my best to get at least a couple of reps this time. Time to switch on now. Let's go. Switch on. Oh, come on. Come on! Whoa! Oh, got there in the end. Oh. Definitely all felt a lot better than the first set. Yeah, I don't know what I did on that first set, just, yeah, didn't feel right. That one felt a lot more comfortable. Just a little pain up here, ever so slight. I did a hell of a lot of stretching today, so I think I've just overdone the stretching a little bit today, hence why I'm struggling a little bit on this week, but it is 5 kilos heavier, so there is that. But yeah, I'm gonna drop it back and try and get a couple of sets of 4 or 5 plus reps is the plan. Keep it fairly heavy and not too high reps. So like I said, it's more of a strength phase for squats, so this is how I would, that's how I'm training squats currently. So yeah. Oh yes, let's go. Right, done my heavy set, or 2 heavy sets. Dropped it back 20 kilos, got 187 kilos on the bar. I did 182 last week for 5 or 6 reps, so the plan is to hit 5 reps of this. Now we'll see, I'm going to try my best. A lot of you probably thinking, well, you're not doing any reps, no rep work at all, but it's a strength phase for me currently, so I'm not too worried about too many sets of reps. Like I said, I'm going to do a few high bar sets, which are going to be high reps anyway, but my main focus is moving heavy weight for a few reps, as powerful as possible, really, as easy as possible. So that's the main focus. Obviously, when I'm going back to doing some bodybuilding style, it would be sets, 4 or 5 working sets of 8, 10, 12 reps. So yeah, just like I said, focus is strength at the moment. So yeah, goal here, 5 reps, 6 reps, we'll see. Let's go. Come on. Oh, just about 5. Oh, yeah, hard work this week, but it felt okay. Everything felt solid, felt strong all the way through. Everything felt pretty comfortable on my back and a step out, and yeah, just start to feel heavy. That 4th, 5th rep, and I thought 5 reps is a solid number, especially whilst I'm just training for a bit of strength. No need to do cardio. Oh. Right, I'm going to drop it down even more. High bar squats now. I'll run through that, explain a bit of that, and try and get some higher reps this time. Whew. Right, onto this last final set. 147 kilos on the bar. High bar squats now. I've been chucking these in for the last few weeks, 3 weeks now. Finishing off with 2 working sets on the high bar, just high reps. Looking for 10 reps plus is the plan, just to finish off with just hit directly more, not directly, but hitting the quads a lot more than on low bar. I've still got a bit of bodybuilding floating around in the brain, so I still want to just hit some higher reps. So yeah, choosing high bar. High bar is usually a bar sat across your traps, top of your traps, and you're much more upright, whereas low bar, I'm like that, almost starting in a good morning position. This one is just high, keeps the body high, and it relies on a lot more quads and stability of the core as well, this one. I'm not a fan of this because it squishes my little traps and it hurts. It's quite uncomfortable for me, this one, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to man up and do it. Come on. Come on. Come on. Yes. That one's a bit of a killer to finish off, but happy enough with that. Form was okay, a little bit wobbly on a few of them, but hit the quads nicely. Good pump through them, get the lungs working. Woo! But yeah, just trying to have a little bit of control on the eccentric part, on all my squats, to be honest. Just puts time under tension on the legs, so I feel like that's just beneficial for every muscle group. Time under tension is a very good thing, helps you gain some muscle. Whew. Right, finished with the squats. I'm going to move on to what am I moving on to? RDLs next. Romanian deadlifts. Come on. Right, on to the next exercise I like to do, especially in the strength phase for legs. Some RDLs, Romanian deadlifts. Out of rack, lift that weight out, feet, fairly, toes forward, about shoulder width, and then we want just a nice straight back. You want to bend the knees slightly, push your hips and your glutes out, and nice bend, good stretch through the hamstring, glutes, and then power up. There are different variations that you can do like this. You can, when I'm doing a bodybuilding phase, I stand on some paving slabs just to give me a good few inches so I can go really deep and stretch those hamstrings and glutes as much as possible. But again, that's more bodybuilding and working more power for this one. So it's just standard barbell all the way down, plates can touch the floor, and then up again. Just powerful, strong, keeping the eccentric part a little bit slower than the concentric, just to keep the stretch and the time under tension on the hamstrings. But again, just trying to keep it as basic and as simple as possible. And I love this exercise to build stronger hamstrings, glutes, lower back. It's going to build your lats as well and your upper back, because it's a deadlift. So there's a lot going on with this movement. So yeah, it's a good accessory for deadlifts as well. Keeps the hamstring strong, glute strong for your deadlifts as well. So it's a great muscle builder, strength builder, this exercise. So yeah, 142 kilos on the bar. I'm going to get a set of 6 probably, maybe more, we'll see. And then yeah, I might go a bit heavier. Let's go. That's the one. Let's go. Yes. Nice controlled, solid set there. That was good. Might move up and do a little bit more weight. But yeah, that's the RDLs. And like I said, I tend to do these more often than not. And everything I'm training today, again, I would train in a gym. Obviously I'm lucky enough to have a bench with an attachment that I can do hamstring curls and leg raises, so I do them as well, but at the moment I do them later on in the week for some super high rep blasting stuff at the moment. But when I'm doing a bit of hypertrophy work again, bodybuilding, I'll incorporate the leg raises and hamstrings into my main sort of leg session. But again, yeah, I'd be doing these exercises in the gym. There's not many, there might be some hack squat or a pendulum squat that I might use if a gym has a nice one. Obviously a leg press is a great movement as well to build the legs, a mass builder. I'd love a leg press in the garden, maybe one day. But yeah, those are the leg press is definitely a machine I would use in a gym, 100%. But yeah, all good. Hopefully, I'll run through that again, because it's a strength phase. The reps are tending to be sort of 5+ on this exercise, this movement currently. obviously when I'm doing the bodybuilding, it'll be 4 to 5 sets of 8, 10, 12 reps, and a lot more slow and controlled, getting a good stretch through the hamstrings and the glutes. Oh, right, probably done with the filming for this one. I'm going to do some good mornings next. Come on. Right, another exercise I love to do on a strength phase of training for legs is the good mornings. I've been using the barbell last few weeks, haven't really got along with that. It's not sitting great and it sort of rolls either down my back or over up towards my neck, so I've swapped it around for the safety bar squat, and going to do some good mornings on here. Got 75 kilos on the bar, going to knock out some reps here and hopefully work my way up to something fairly heavy. But yeah, just go through this exercise and sort of why I use it. I'll do the exercise, get some reps out, and then just sort of talk a little bit about it. Try not to keep you too long. Let's go. Right, that's the good morning. Yeah, again, I like to use this. It's using the hip hinge movement. You're using your lower back. A lot of muscles being used there. Strengthens the lower back, the glutes, the hamstrings, and yeah, makes you more bulletproof for the squats, for the deadlifts. And again, I prefer to use a more of a controlled eccentric part as well. Even when I'm lifting heavy, I try and have at least sort of 3 seconds on the eccentric part, time under tension, and it's just good. It keeps your core braced, it works your core hard, and yeah, just teaches you to brace and really control that weight down and use all the muscles, in the lower back, your glutes, the hamstrings. Great exercise to build strength for the squats, for the deadlifts, and yeah, it's something I like to do on a strength phase. When I'm bodybuilding or trying to build a bit more muscle and doing higher rep stuff, I don't tend to do these at all, because I'm hitting a lot of higher reps with hamstrings and deadlift exercise or squats and bits. So yeah, it's just a lot to incorporate this as well when you're doing high rep, high set kind of workouts, but much better when you're doing a strength phase. So yeah, I enjoy them for trying to build some overall strength in the glutes, back and the hamstrings. Right, let's move on to some calves next on the video. Let's go. Right, finishing this leg session off with some calf raises. Got the safety bar still out. I'm going to work through 4 or 5 sort of working sets here with 10 plus reps going on for calves. It's very rare that I do anything below 10 reps with the calves, and rare that I do anything less than 4 working sets. Again, I push these fairly heavy most weeks as well, 10 plus reps. I tend to train calves twice a week, so my session on a Thursday I do high rep stuff for quads and hamstrings and calves. I either do this but with a single leg at a time, isolation with the single leg, or I just go up and down my stairs with just body weight and I just do 10-15 reps on each step and then come back down again doing calf raises, and that burns, that's a killer, and it hurts for days after. Do recommend trying that one. I don't know how much growth you get from it, but it's painful. But yeah, this, keeping it simple as always, nice and basic. Any gym you should be able to do this, but gyms usually have, you know, a seated calf raise or a donkey calf raise, or you can just do calves on a leg press. You don't necessarily need to set up a barbell and do it, but you can. So yeah, 125 kilos on the bar. Going to knock out some high reps here and just show you sort of the form I use. Try and do a full range of motion and a bit of a deep stretch on the eccentric part, on the downward motion. Right, let's go. Oh. So yeah, full range of motion there on the first 12 or so reps, and then I get a bit burnt out, so then I do a pumpy type rep where essentially I come all the way down but just to level, not up, just to there, and just pump the stretch position of the calf basically. Because again, I did do a bit of research and the scientific base side of things. A lot of people found gains just doing that, calves 2-3 times a week, and doing a pump movement to finish off their sets, and they increased muscle mass. So yeah, I tend to try and do that. When I've reached a point that I can't do full range, I then do the pumpy pump reps. Hopefully, I've helped some people today and given some advice or some technique help with the certain exercises I like to do for legs on a strength phase. And yeah, that's my session done. Fairly happy with that today. Squats, again, heavier than last week, a little bit harder. But like I said, I think I overdid my stretching this afternoon, so I think that's played a bit of a factor today. But yeah, I'm going to try and keep on top of that and see how it goes next week. But yeah, happy to be lifting more this week on the squats anyway, and I think very good form for me and good clean reps. So yeah, happy enough with that session. Good solid work, and hopefully some gains have been made. Right, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Stay strong everyone, and I'll catch you in the next one. Yes!